you're wondering where I've been for the past 2 weeks, well, it starts with my car being broken. Yeah, let's get into this. So my first issue happened on my way to work on Saturday morning, and it was because my car was smoking. It was like crazy. It was coming out of the hood. It was white smoke, and it was really like making me nervous, obviously, because my car is smoking. I don't know what's wrong with it. And I had to limp this thing like 2 miles down the road to get to my workplace so that I can get to work. So I parked my car at work, opened the hood. Come to find out, this thing right here. It's the oil feed line from CX Racing. The only line, I might add, that I did not custom make was their line. This one right here. And you see this little top piece right here? Yeah, this thing failed. It dumped oil all over my turbo, all over my manifold, everything, and it was burning up. It was literally close to catching this thing on fire. It dumped oil everywhere. Not only did it almost catch it on fire, but it dumped the oil everywhere, meaning I'm losing a bunch of oil and oil pressure because this thing is like, obviously it's broken, it's not holding it. Now, I went down to G&J in Ontario, California. These guys have aircraft fittings and all these race car parts. They're great. Now, G&J custom made a braided stainless steel line, AN fittings and all, everything for $23. Are you kidding me? $23 to replace this thing. Brand new, that will never fail again. Now, there's a bunch of issues with this line right here. One, these have copper fittings. They are prone to getting bent, marred, and rounded out. Not only that, they have this fitting on the end. Do you see this? This thing does not oscillate at all. So, to screw this in, you have to twist the whole line because this thing doesn't screw in. It's stupid. Who does that? So, I had a whole brand new line made. For $23, I might add. Thank you, G&J. Everybody in Ontario, California, go to G&J. They have a whole bunch of stuff to support your race car. Like nitrous, if you want nitrous. Or oil catch cans, something, I don't know. They got a bunch of stuff there. They're a bunch of cool guys, and they guarantee you they got the fitting that you need. Now, my second issue is with the suspension. Something has been knocking with inside my suspension, and it's been having me, it's been making me kind of nervous. Every time I shift the weight in the car, something kind of knocks in the front end, and I can feel it through my steering wheel. But every time I jack up the car, I check all the suspension mounts, all the A-arms, and everything, the lower ball joints, everything. I can't find anything that looks like it's out of place, torn, worn, or that has any excessive play. None of that. So I took the car down to KharTunerz. What's up? So we're with Nick down here at KharTunerz.
What up?
Dude, this thing is fucking sick.
It's alright.
It's alright? It's alright? Dude, you modded this thing so fast.
Yeah.
This thing is so crazy. How has it been? Is it cool?
I love it. Great car. Turns a lot of heads. People don't really expect a Kia to look like this, you know?
Yeah, definitely not. Dude, definitely a change from your old Genesis, right?
Yeah. All-wheel drive. It's making about, last dyno was 390 wheel and 440 torque.
440 torque, Jesus Christ. So, you want to know what I drove all the way out here for you guys for?
Yeah. What ended up happening?
My wheel touching the coilover.
That'll do it every time.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't quite know if that's absolutely the issue yet. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna get like my alignment and everything and then see if it's still knocking. So hopefully it's not.
What's the spec on the front wheel?
They're 19 by 11 and a half with like a negative 46 offset. But like it literally sits right in between the locking collars. And so I think because the other side's not touching. So I think it's just one side just happened to come out of alignment just a little bit, just enough to touch it.
Just enough to rub it?
Yeah. And it's like, every time I feel stupid because like I came and I'll take off the wheel, I'd set the wheel down and I'd look at all the suspension, I'm like, fuck, it's fine. I put the wheel back on and then I never like looked at the back side. Yeah, on the inner barrel. Yeah. So, yeah. But still, huge thanks to KharTunerz, dude. You guys are fucking awesome.
Anything you guys need.
Yeah. And we'll do more stuff later. We'll try not to make this car blow up. So I'll probably be here because I'm so antsy, dude. Like, I cannot tell you.
You scared?
Yeah, I'm scared. Are you scared?
No, I mean,
You're not scared? Everybody everybody on the internet has a different say. How about you come?
Haltech E85, it's a world of difference compared to people running stock ECU 91, 93 or meth. It's a world of difference. As long as you know your oil temps, you know your coolant levels,
Keeping everything regular. Yeah. Now, at KharTunerz, what they discovered upon getting the car in the air is that the back of my wheel, I think I told you guys this when I put these wheels on, that eventually your alignment changes. Now I ran my wheels really close, literally as big of a wheel as I could get, and obviously the geometry of my suspension has changed a little bit just from normal wear and tear, and the camber has brought itself a little bit more in. Now what that's caused it to do is have my wheel lean against the coilover just slightly, so whenever I shift the weight or anything, it kind of knocks against it. So we need to go down to Best Tire Shop to get an alignment, which is what we're going to be doing today. But what we also did is I had my cutout. I told you guys about my cutout. My cutout had broke. Now the reason that my cutout broke is because it was large. I told you guys I had to have a custom pipe made for my cutout because of the way that it was shaped, and it would hit the ground, and the Genesis really doesn't have that much space if you have a low Genesis. If you lowered it excessively like I did, there's not really a lot of space for the cutout, so you have to kind of angle it a little bit weird, and it's still pretty close to the ground, and I ended up smashing it against a speed bump and it broke. So I had to get a different cutout, and this time I got a big boy cutout, an expensive one, and it's embedded inside the exhaust, not like this huge. This is what the new cutout looks like. This is more like embedded inside the exhaust. Our previous cutout looks like this, and this thing kept smashing the ground. It ended up ripping the cable out up here because it hit the ground, so yeah. But what I did do is I did order parts for this cutout to repair it, and I fixed it so it does work again. I could put this one back in my car, but I already got that other one so it wouldn't touch the ground. So if any of you guys want it, you guys can DM me here on Instagram. My thing will be up on the screen, and you can come pick this cutout up from me. As well as I have a muffler delete that's been sitting here at my house. I've been putting it up on Instagram. 50 bucks, man, 50 bucks. And you could take 90 bucks, cutout, and exhaust. And I have all the wires and everything to run it. You even get a remote start and everything. So right now what we're gonna do, like I said, get ready, get down to Vic, get this bad boy aligned, and hopefully we have, fingers crossed, no more issues with this thing. And before I forget, when I fixed my oil feed line, I also got my heat wrap in. So I heat wrapped everything. Let me show you guys what that came out like. You see this? Woo, baby. All this came out super freaking sick. I know I said I wanted to keep it incognito, but this heat wrap is an absolute necessity, and it's the Mishimoto heat wrap. This stuff works the best. I've tried so many other heat wraps to try and keep this thing as, like I said, incognito as possible, and they just fall apart. I don't know what it is. Mishimoto's heat wrap is literally embedded inside the tape, and the other heat wraps that I have literally are like the fiberglass insulation with adhesive on the back, and they always separate. Oh, and my catch can. This thing is a little bit tilted sideways because it keeps hitting the hood, but yeah, fuck it. So as you can see, I've been pretty busy, and I've been doing stuff with the car, but most of it's been like, you know, maintenance, fixing it, all this little stuff that I would have picked up the camera, and I kind of did, but I didn't want to put out a bunch of different videos of like my car continuously being broken and doing all this stuff, so I figured I'd jam it all in one video, and that's what I've been doing for these past 2 weeks. And yeah, now let's get down to Vic's Best Tire Shop and let's see if he can get this thing aligned and stop this knocking. And I also forgot to tell you guys that after our chat with Nick down from KharTunerz, and I was talking to him about like my problems with the vibrations and the rattling and how all my bolts kept coming loose from my turbo manifold in the back of the turbo housing. Well, to have them like spec certified to pass inspection, you either have to drill them and wire tie them, or you have to tack weld them. So went down to my buddy Jordan's house where he tack welded all those bolts for me. How you doing, Jordan?
Oh, I'm good.
This is Jordan, everybody, and he will be solving one of our many issues today. Hopefully, right?
Hey, I'll put the tack down. You gotta tell me if it works.
You guys will definitely find out if it breaks or not. I'll let you know in like 2 days. Typically, that's the amount of time it takes for these bolts to come out.
you to hold this.
I'll hold a lot. That's what we're working with right now. We gotta tack weld all these bolts, the manifold bolts, because they continuously keep backing up.
Don't look. Look away.
Huge shout out to Jordan for doing that, because that was like, we needed that. I haven't had any issues since, and it's been so nice. I was literally losing bolts. Every time I go out to drive, bolts would rattle loose and fall out. It sucked. I always had to keep bolts with me and screw them back in. One, that's dangerous because it could fall out, go into your tire. Two, because my turbo gets fall off. Dangerous. We're down here at Best Tire Shop. My man Vic, gonna get this thing aligned today and try and get that problem where my wheel touches the coilover to get that all situated. Hopefully, if we get this fixed today, all my problems will be situated and we will be good. Now, the whole reason we're trying to go through all this and I didn't film and I try to get this through like a whole crazy time frame is because Clean Culture on the 19th, August 19th, that's where we'll be at, and I'm trying to get this set because I need this thing to make it there. Come on, first show with the big turbo, it's like just so many issues. I couldn't make any of the other shows, so I really need to make that one. Vic, you said you can align any low car, right? You haven't had a car. You haven't had a...
No problem. If I can get it on the lift, I can align it.
Oh, see. My man Vic, he's a wizard down here. You need to come down here if you need any tire alignment or wheel alignment, get your tires put on your wheels. Vic can do some pretty crazy stuff. All right, so we just got done with the car being on the lift. Unfortunately, Vic says I'm gonna need some camber bolts to fix my issue, because when we adjust the camber at the top of the top hat, it moves the coilover with the wheel, so looks like we're gonna have to deal with it for a little bit. And then this thing, now it's his turn to get on the lift. Well, people are gonna be curious about your car. You want to tell people about your car a little bit?
It's a 2017 GT86. Pretty much within 4 or 5 months, I had it looking like this, other than the color. And but basically, I planned my build out for about 6-7 months before I bought the car and all the parts, and just put everything I put down on paper into reality, and still constantly just working on it every day, like figuring out new things, trying to be different, but at the same time not compromising what I like to do. I didn't build my car for anybody else's really liking. I just built it to mine. People happen to like it, which is awesome. People hate it too, which is normal.
What would you say is the most hated part about your car?
Probably the color and my wheels.
So yeah, you got 2 separate wheels on this thing. Personally, I think it's super sick. Where can people find your build at?
At honja.get86, honja.get86.
Got it. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I just made it back home. I will see you guys Sunday, August 19th at Clean Culture. I haven't quite figured out what the knocking is yet. We tightened down the bolts for the top hat to the coilovers. We also did the alignment. It's still having this knocking issue. I really don't know what it is. And like I said, all the suspension components seem fine. All the bushings are fine. Nothing has excessive play. We align the car fine. Nothing's ripped or torn, so it's kind of odd to find what it is. The wheel is still touching the coilover a little bit, so maybe that's what it is. I'm gonna look into getting some camber bolts, but other than that, everything else is fixed. We got the bolts that we're backing out of the turbo housing and the manifold welded. We got everything heat shielded underneath the hood. We got some of our suspension stuff situated. What else did we fix? A bunch of that oil feed line, we got that replaced. And then, yeah. So huge thanks to everybody who helped out. Vic from Best Tire Shop for aligning this thing. Nick and Hugo from KharTunerz, you guys are awesome. Huge shout out to Jordan for welding out all those bolts for me. Dude, you're awesome. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Hopefully I fix it. Everybody welcome Irma to the vlog.